This spring, love gets ripped in A24's Love Lies Bleeding, written and directed by Rose Glass, who did another A24 movie that I liked so much that I bought it, Saint Maud. Morford Clark delivering a career-defining performance, showing the absolute batshit insanity and the lengths that some people will go to prove their devout faith, and also great psychological horror, body horror, horror all around, an 84-minute ride through hysteria. It was nuts. It was fucking nuts. I don't even know if I'm actually pronouncing her name correctly, but Morford Clark, at least if I'm in the ballpark, then I'm happy. She was great. I'm putting this up here, by the way, because Rose Glass deserved a lot more attention from a lot more people for this, even though critics liked it. The audience scores were decent, but I just want to say, again, Saint Maud, really goddamn good. So Morford Clark is nowhere near this, but Rose Glass is, and she did that. And I was looking forward to Love Lies Bleeding because, one, A24. You slap A24 on the goddamn marquee, I'm there. I'm 100% there, even if I can't see it in theaters, if it's just on the film festival circuit. If I get a chance to check it out on streaming, I will. And I was 100% sold on this because, one, Rose Glass, and also the fact that it has Kristen Stewart, and it has Katie O'Brien, it has Jenna Malone, and it has Ed Harris in it. It has a really good cast. It even has Dave Franco in it. And Dave Franco, I've kind of been a little bit middling on, but when he's good, he's really goddamn good. And also, there's an actress that I really have appreciated in a couple shows that I've watched, and her name is Anna Baryshnikov. Pretty certain that's probably the closest I'm going to get to that, but she was in that show, Dickinson, that was pretty good, admittedly. So, a really stacked cast, and it's an A24 movie with Kristen Stewart, Katie O'Brien, as star-crossed lovers, I guess you could say, in the most banal way and minute way possible. Like, it's really hard to describe it any other way because Lou, Kristen Stewart, is a gym employee. She works at her dad's gym, and she happens to see Jackie, played by Katie O'Brien, who I just want to say absolutely looks fucking tremendous. I love Kristen Stewart. She's been great in a lot of stuff. She was great even in the 2019 Charlie's Angels movie. I mean, I didn't think I was really going to care for that, and it wasn't great, but it was fine. It was fine for what it was. She was also great in Underwater. But Jackie is a bodybuilder, and this is set in 1989, that glorious year, 10 years before Prince said we're going to party like it's this particular year. And they end up getting together, and then a bunch of nutty shit happens. That's really about the best baseline I can go with, because when it comes to A24 movies, especially something where they are going to slap their name on something with the talents of Kristen Stewart, Katie O'Brien, Jenna Malone, and have an LGBTQ theme about it, and also a film noir with some great dark comedy, some great violence, and a lot of insanity, sign me the fuck up. And I loved every goddamn blood-soaked, hilarious, weird, bizarre moment of this movie. This was a fucking ride. This was great. This is something you need to go check out in theaters. It was fucking phenomenal. One of my favorite movies of the year. I see why people were praising it when they saw it on the film circuit. I couldn't, even wait until like another day once it was finally out, in a wider release. I just saw it just in the theater in town, and I couldn't wait to talk about it. And my God, this is great. This is fucking great. I'm going to talk about a little bit more of the plot before I get into spoilers, but I encourage you guys to check this out. This movie is not for everybody. This sort of reminded me almost of a dialed back version of Men, because it has a bit of an insane third act. Not as much as Men, though. Oh boy, Men. Whew. I love that, but I can see why some people didn't. So, I did like how they do a little bit of setup. It's pretty obvious where this whole thing's going, but it is a love letter from Rose Glass and also writer Warneka Tolfilska. I really, really hope I got that close. I'm sorry if you happen to be watching this, even though you should have better things to do than watch some weird guy talk about, his just how much he loves a particular movie you were involved in. Nevertheless, two writers and Rose Glass at the goddamn peak. I would argue this is a little bit better than Saint Maud. Even though I love Saint Maud, I think this was just a little bit better because she fine-tuned, tweaked a few things, as it were. We do get some nudity. That's always good, especially with two gorgeous women involved in this. And yeah, Katie O'Brien looked great. Kristen Stewart looks great, as always. And really, it's just goddamn tremendous. Great cinematography. There are some great shots, especially, great lighting. And it has that, 80s aesthetic as far as synth score and certain drugs that are used, basically. Okay, Love Gets Ripped. If you saw the trailer, you probably know what the hell I'm talking about. And bodybuilding, I'm pretty much just putting the needle right in, as it were. Nevertheless, really, really great shit. And Kristen Stewart plays that semi-awkward, but also really, really, like diehard, just like, when she loves all the way, just extremely attractive. And also, there's a cat in it. Don't worry, the cat is fine. Just want to let you guys know the orange cat is fine. It's an adorable orange cat, by the way. And if you saw even a few frames of this trailer, you would have been able to tell right away that they were in New Mexico. And they were in New Mexico. And I just like how they managed to tie a few things together and also have a few twists. Yeah, sure, there are other film noirs that have had better twists because you can only reinvent, and tweak around a few things so many times before they get so tweaked that the nipples fall off. What am I on about? I don't know. But Ed Harris plays a great role here. And the fact that it has so many themes about, certain abusing steroids. It has also about, revealing secrets about yourself, who you reveal secrets to, how hard it might be to get away with certain things. It's just great. And also, it has a whopper of a goddamn ending where I'm just like, okay, Rose Glass basically just said, I'm throwing up my hands and just saying, we're just going to do whatever the fuck I want. Which is kind of what she did with Saint Maud. That being said, great stuff. Really, really great stuff. I fucking love this. The dark comedy with Kristen Stewart being a little bit awkward and wanting to try to protect the people she loves. It was great. And Jenna Malone, I do want to give a shout to as well. She's had a bit of a career resurgence. I really do like that she's been in more stuff lately, more horror stuff. She was great in Swallowed, by the way. No, that's not a euphemism. It was, should have leaned into the premise a little bit more, but she was good in it. And Dave Franco is pretty good as well. But Ed Harris, I think, was a standout here. He's having, a nice, final act to his career, so to speak, starring in roles like this. And what I just love is the camera work. Great cinematography, great stuff, gorgeous scenery. Yes, even the dirt, the dirty roads of New Mexico look beautiful when shot like this. And it was just really, really good. A24, once again, knocking it out of the park. I love this. I love this. I thought total goddamn blast, even though some of it was just absolutely nuts. It did give into the body horror stuff and some insanity to the point where you're like, what the fuck? But it was so good, and the performances were so good, you didn't fucking care if it was batshit insane. It's in theaters right now. Get into the spoilers. 3, 2, 1. Spoilers. So, Ed Harris is Lou Sr., not Lou Reed, not Rex Reed, not Jake Reed, not Willis Reed. If you get that, you are a diehard MST3K fan. He has a daughter, Lou, and the mother is no longer in the scene. Also, it turns out that Lou Sr., I'm just going to say Ed Harris, he is into some shady shit. He owns a gun shop. He also owns a gym that Lou works at. And also Lou's trying to protect her sister, Beth, played by Jenna Malone, who's being abused constantly by her significant other, JJ. A Franco being abusive to women, God, do tell. That's like the pot calling the kettle, hey, I know you. Wait, that's me. I'm looking in the mirror. If you know, you know. And also, Daisy, Miss Anna, Miss Baryshnikov, she plays the good, insane ex, or fling. She's really good. She was good in Dickinson, what I've seen. I haven't seen all of it, but she's good, and I really just like how she played this just completely unhinged character. And what I really liked about this was just how sumptuous it was from a cinematography standpoint. Now, after Lou and Jackie hook up, Jackie, the first time we see Jackie, she's getting nailed by some guy that turns out to actually be JJ. JJ is constantly cheating on his significant other, and she needs a job because she's traveling through to do a bodybuilding competition in Vegas, and that gets revealed a little bit later on because she's into men and women. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. If you have a problem with anybody that's a member of the LGBTQ community, as long as they're doing it with consenting adults, fuck you. And Jackie and Lou hook up. Lou offers her some steroids. She because they were given out like candy in the 80s. Who knows, in 1989, bodybuilders were doing that shit. The crackdown didn't really happen until a little bit later on. And she's bound and determined to, be, just work hard, work at that gun range that Ed Harris owns, and all that. And she's doing the poses. Katie O'Brien looks great, by the way. Looks great. Is just sinking her teeth into this role. Might have said that wrong, but she was just doing some great stuff here. Kristen Stewart being just, again, the tremendously awkward and also just down and dirty girl. Oh, ho, ho. But no, she was like cleaning toilets and doing stuff and whatever. And trust me, cleaning toilets at a public establishment, I've done it. I still do it. It's tough to do. But they hook up. There's a couple good sex scenes, I do want to say. Boy, howdy. I mean, it's nice. It's very nice. They're both attractive women. How the fuck could I not notice? And then the violence ends up starting because it turns out that Ed Harris is involved in a whole bunch of shady shit. Like, there's ravines and caverns in New Mexico and bodies could end up down there. And that's also what happened to the mother. Kind of, possibly. We don't really ever get the exact description, but it's implied that even though she left, she couldn't handle being the mother and being a wife. No, I think actually it's that she also was just, she just wanted to fucking, she wanted to do something and then got offed because everybody gets offed. Ed Harris is so powerful, he's paying off the New Mexico police. All two of them, seemingly. There aren't a lot of police there. In whatever city it is. Whatever city it's supposed to be. I know part of it was filmed in Albuquerque. I think they took that left turn at Albuquerque. But what I really liked is a little bit later on when, the steroid use was really starting to take hold on Jackie. And the roid rage and stuff like that. So after Jenna Malone's Beth gets beat up, Lou really wants to do something, but she can't. And Jackie overhears a fight, that was going on, and finally just snaps. She just snaps because of roid rage. She goes over and beats the shit out of JJ and breaks his goddamn jaw. Just breaks it, just beats the teetotal shit out of him. Destroys him on the goddamn table. And it's great. It's fucking great. The cat's fine, by the way. I just want to say, I was really worried about the cat. I go, no, don't hurt the kitty. She didn't hurt the kitty. Kitty's fine. Adorable kitty. Also weird kind of weird sex scene in a bathroom. I mean, whatever. However you get down, I don't care as long as you're all consenting adults. But Daisy being like kind of the albatross who could drag this thing down was kind of hilarious. Ed Harris ends up getting Jackie involved in this whole thing because he finds out that JJ, after being killed, was put into this ravine. His car was set on fire, and since his car was wedged in there, the smoke's going to go way up because they set it like crazy. And also, Lou has been involved in a lot of shady shit. That's how she knew to put the thing down there, because then she could expose her dad. Gross. But her and Jackie are going to go off to this particular competition, but then Jackie decides to go off on her own, does more roids, and is getting more insane. Because she got her hooked on it, even though she had a great body. I mean, don't get me wrong, Katie O'Brien has a great body in this anyway, but the whole point is she gets so insane with the roid use, she takes off, hitchhikes, and she's not in a very good place, shall we say, when she gets to this competition. Lou, meanwhile, is trying to get a grip on this whole thing that's going on with her sister, because her sister was in such an abusive, manipulative relationship that she is upset that her husband ends up being dead. Ed knows that Lou had something to do with it, is trying to clean this up. There's FBI agents all around. Okay, two, but still. Daisy ends up kind of being all obsessive over Lou. Again, how could you not be obsessive over Kristen Stewart? I don't blame her. But they're at a diner. They're eating. They go back where, like everything's good. This is right after a phone call where Daisy basically says, oh, she doesn't want to be with you anymore because Lou's trying to make the most of it and trying to help everybody out and save herself and also save Jackie. But this is just going nuts. This is right after, by the way, Jackie does the competition and goes insane. I mean, just goes insane because of all the roid use. It just fries her goddamn brain. She ends up at one point puking something up, and she sees herself puking up Kristen Stewart, and also sees that Lou, or that JJ's body is there with the broken jaw and everything. Some great makeup effects on that, by the way. And she freaks out and then beats the shit out of one of the goddamn contestants because roid rage. And then she's arrested. And Ed Harris gets her and says, okay, you need to wrap up some loose ends because Daisy saw them, the two girls, driving to get rid of JJ's body. So he hands her a gun and basically says, tell me when it's done. And then Jackie ends up shooting Daisy. In a really good shot, by the way. And Jackie takes off. Lou, Kristen Stewart had been cleaning up cleaned up like the blood after Jackie had killed JJ. Now she's got to clean up her own goddamn apartment. The cat apparently is fine. She wraps up Daisy's body in a big rug. A lot of big rugs in New Mexico. Apparently it's a big rug state, I guess. I had something I was going to go with and it just went whew. Probably because I'm thinking of Kristen Stewart. Yeah, that'll do it. She wraps up her body, puts her behind the goddamn couch, and then the FBI shows up, and then the cat's licking the blood, because it's hilarious, because kitties deserve to, I guess, consume the blood of the living? I don't know where I was going with that. And then she's going to go rescue Jackie. She drags Daisy's body into the truck first, going to go rescue Jackie. And Jackie's all pissed off at her. A woman is leaving as Kristen Stewart shows up, and it seems like that's her mother, or that's the new mother. Maybe the new wife. But all this crazy shit's going on, and she finds Jackie, and she unties Jackie, and Jackie starts just attacking her. Pissed off. Roid rage, and also a bunch of other stuff, because she feels that Lou tried to sell her out. She didn't try to sell her out. She was trying to save her. And the cat's in the truck, by the way. Again, the cat is fine. I would have trusted the cat to drive more than anything, by the way, with how cracked out both these two were. But both these two, as opposed to both these three. Didn't realize I said that there. Nevertheless, she tells Jackie, take off. It's okay. It's fine. It's totally fine. And then Ed Harris ends up shooting his own daughter and is putting his finger in her wound. But but now Jackie is tied to Lou and starts and just hulking up, literally hulking up. She becomes a 50-foot tall Jackie at the end. Grabs Ed Harris and pins him down. And the feds are showing up, by the way. Well, there's a 50-foot Jackie just right there in the backyard that the feds don't see. And it's in a mountainous villa type house, but still, and sorry, Kristen Stewart's Lou puts a gun in her mouth, or a gun in his mouth, by the way, and decides not to pull the trigger. He's going to get arrested, and then they both take off, and now they're both apparently 400 feet tall because their heads are in the goddamn clouds, like they're the Cloverfield monster at the end of Cloverfield Paradox, and they're just there, and then they're all in the car or in the truck. The cat's fine. And then Daisy's body starts to move. Daisy apparently is still alive despite getting shot through the face. So Lou chokes her out, dumps her body in there, steals her money, and just leaves her body out there. Apparently that's something people in New Mexico do. And that's it. That is Love Lies Bleeding. That was it right there. It was great. It was goddamn great. Also, once again, please check out St. Maud. It was really good stuff. But yeah, Rose Glass knocking out of the goddamn park. Kristen Stewart, Katie O'Brien, great cat. A+. Gets an A+. It's absolute batshit insanity, and I loved it. Agree, disagree what I said? Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.